Welcome to another episode of the Hallis Huddle Podcast. Here are your hosts, Rob Schwartz and Justin Onayemi, two Bears fans who decided talking into a microphone was better than shouting at their television.
Welcome in, Hallis Huddlers. This is the fun sock episode.
Nobody told me.
No, okay, so I'll get to this in a second. Episode 46, Justin Onayemi, Rob Schwartz. As always, we're here.
Huddle up!
See, we just have to look at each other. We know.
That's because it's 46 episodes in.
Yeah, we didn't do all 46
I know, I was gonna
together,
say,
though.
And Huddle Up wasn't there for the whole time.
No, that's right. Yeah, so I guess got to give a shout out to Greg Braggs for these awesome Chicago Bears authentic socks that I have on. I wish that the camera could be back a little bit more. You guys could see these nice pasty legs.
Or you could
that almost
dive over the top of the huddle or top of the line like Peyton, then we'll see your socks.
That's right. I mean, but they're almost as white as my legs, right? So that's kind of what I was going for here. Anyway. Real quick, we are in episode 46.
Doug Plank episode.
Doug Plank. That's a real important player on this.
If he's good enough to name a defense after, then he's good enough to name a Hallis Huddle episode after.
That's
honorable mention to Chris Harris, another great safety in Bears history.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
Great. Very good, let's
say.
Very
good. He was pretty good. This episode is the way too soon, way too early bold predictions episode.
So we did not discuss. So
no.
I'm going to be hearing yours for the first time and reacting to it. You're going to be hearing mine and react to it. In fact, I don't even know who should go first or how we should do this. I like the idea of alternating back and forth.
Yeah, I like the alternating back and forth.
Well, I'll say one. I guess I start.
Yeah,
I'll go with one, and it's not going to seem that bold to you because we talked about this. We didn't talk about it as a prediction. But anyway, I think it's pretty bold to say that I believe the Bears will win 9 or more games this season. It could certainly not happen, but I think a bold prediction would be that they win that many. That's saying they're above 500. That's having them make
Vegas.
That's an over, obviously. It's kind of saying they're going to have a season like Detroit did last year.
Yeah.
Do you want me to kind of defend it first a little bit before you respond?
Do you want me to play devil's advocate?
Sure, but
okay.
Should I defend it first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, here's my reason.
Or should I? No. Let me be devil's advocate. Then you defend it.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because you got to...
What if you're so good at it that I'm like, never mind. I don't believe in it
I don't think that's going to happen because here's the thing. I had them winning 8.
Okay.
So I'm only 1 game away.
Okay.
But we have no idea what this offensive line is going to look like. Cody Whitehair coming in at center. Like, do you remember how bad his snaps were when he first started as center? He hasn't played center in, 3-4 years? I don't know how good that's going to work out, right? So devil's advocate there. Darnell Wright. Yeah, we think he's going to be fantastic, but we see a lot of top linemen not look good, especially their rookie year. That offensive line might not be, they gave up 58 sacks last year. I don't know if Justin Fields is going to be able to overcome that if it's that bad again. Okay? That's devil's advocate number 1. Devil's advocate number 2. Where's their outside rush help? I'm going to assume you think and I think that they're going to add somebody via free agency as an edge rusher or trade, as Ryan Poles has alluded to a little bit.
Possible. Both are possible.
Where's the pass rush coming from? I don't know.
So I will say
that's all I got.
Yeah, well, honestly, I mean, both of those match up with points I was going to bring up.
Okay,
so
good. See,
first of all, they're a better team on paper.
Yes.
Now, that doesn't mean anything. Paper doesn't mean anything. You got to go out and play. But when you talk about the offensive line and you talk about giving up 58 sacks, can it get much worse than that? Not really. They brought in Nate Davis. They drafted Darnell Wright. You said Whitehair to center. I mean, they still might think it's Patrick. I don't know. But hopefully somebody proves themselves to be the guy worthy of that position. And are they really going to be worse than Mustafa?
I'm going to say a Mustafa fan. Come on. I wanted to pay him $15 million.
I wanted to pay him $15 million. Right. Accidentally, you almost gave him life-changing money.
If you guys have not seen that episode, go back to the mock offseason 1.0 episode.
He got paid.
So
better team on paper on the O-line, which is a crucial place to be better.
Yeah.
Defensive line, I'm going to actually come back to that one in defending that because it's part of a different bold prediction I'm going to make.
Okay.
But we already
forecasting.
know it's getting better with some of the free agent signings they made in terms of stopping the run.
Yes.
Now, I think that also will lead to better defense on passing downs as well because you're, going to force them into more of those situations.
Okay.
But I'll get into that a little more later. Another reason I think they could win 9 or more games is the fact that last year with a lesser roster, I think a less talented roster, they were 1-8 in games that came down to a single score. So first of all, to even be in that many one-score games with a lesser roster is significant. And then now you should be able to win those. Nice socks.
I just want to point out, it doesn't even look like I'm wearing pants.
Yes.
Thank God this is the explicit version.
Yeah, because of that computer. It's like in Austin Powers when they're holding up stuff, constantly blocking just right.
Okay.
I think another reason for optimism, perhaps too much, but is continuity. Fields being in the system for 2 years in a row. They didn't lose any coordinators. Like from a coaching staff perspective, they should be able to be establishing things and taking things from, installment phase to now you're actually working on tweaks or working on the next level. Hopefully that's the type of thing that we'll see from the defensive side of the ball, but definitely with Justin Fields. Another reason I have this is I do believe in the vision that Poles is carrying out. If I'm grossly wrong about this, if I'm wrong about this by a lot, I'll be concerned. If I'm wrong about it by a little, then I think I'm just 1 year early on the prediction of them being a much better team that's, vying for the playoffs. And my final reason is just the NFL is wacky. Yeah. Teams go from last to first. And I'm not necessarily projecting that. I'm just saying in a week-to-week league, you oftentimes shake your head and wonder what happened there. And the key, I think, if they're going to get to 9 games winning or more, is Justin Fields being that dude. And we both really liked him last year. Obviously, there are things you could definitely talk about that are negative. But if he makes that leap, then I don't think this is too bold. But it is still a bold prediction at this point.
I like it.
Okay.
I like it. I think with my bold prediction, it will definitely happen. And I think my 8 games is a low side. So I have Justin Fields finishing. This is a very bold prediction, by the way. I have Justin Fields finishing as a top 5 quarterback in 2023. Not only do I have that, and here's how he's going to achieve it. He's going to have 4,000 plus all-purpose yards. He's not going to be the first quarterback to throw for over 4,000 yards for the Chicago Bears. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen, but he's going to get close. Okay? Might even break Eric Kramer's record. I think it's around 3,700-ish.
With an extra game.
That's true. Asterisks. He's going to finish with 36 combined touchdowns. Okay? 36. Patrick Mahomes last year had 41. He's going to have 15 total giveaways. I'm not going to predict how many are interceptions and how many are fumbles. He's going to have 15 giveaways. He's going to be a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. He's going to be up there with Joe Burrow. He's going to be up there with Justin Herbert. He's going to be up there with Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen.
Okay, and rather than me do devil advocate, I'm just going to link onto this. Plus, we want to keep this episode a little shorter.
Yeah.
And just go into what my second bold prediction is because I think it combines with yours.
All right.
My bold prediction, number 2, is that Justin Fields will be one of the NFC Pro Bowl quarterbacks.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing. Last year, at some point late in the season, we were like, who's it going to be? Geno Smith was the only guy balling out.
Right.
Maybe Daniel Jones. And then it was like a bunch of Kirk Cousins because their record was good. Now, I understand Derek Carr came over to the NFC. Aaron Rodgers leaves. The guys you all mentioned are all AFC guys.
Yes.
And the AFC, I mean, for years to come is going to be quite wild if some of these guys stay. You got just quarterbacks in all these teams. Whereas in the NFC, I don't know. Is there really any guy that stands out? You got Hurts? Then what? So my hope is that
maybe
this season it can be Fields. Right. Prescott's a guy, but last year, I already forgot his replacement's name, came in and maybe he was making a run for it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Kind of goes with yours. I would hope the 15 giveaways is a little lower. I don't know.
I just think with him running the ball so much, I think there's going to be at least 5 to 6 fumbles. So
hopefully those aren't all lost.
true.
We counted any fumble as a. Remember when we did that before? We said just the potential of a turnover.
Yeah, well, any bad snaps, which we talked about. If Cody Whitehair.
I'm just saying, if you put the ball on the ground, you're risking your team losing it. Even if you recover it, it's not a good thing.
Correct.
So, okay. So I did mine too. So now you can kind of give another one.
Yeah. So my next one is everyone wanted Khalil Herbert to be the guy last year, right? Khalil Herbert's going to be an afterthought this year. Maybe they had Dalvin Cook. If you didn't check out our last episode, go back. There's rumors out there that Chicago could be a landing spot for Dalvin Cook. Right there is going to push Khalil Herbert right down the depth chart, right? I just have a feeling Thonta Foreman's going to take over that top spot because he's a slightly better pass blocker. And I think Roschon Johnson is going to be the number 2 at some point. And Khalil Herbert's going to get his touches. 5-6 carries maybe a game.
Wow.
I don't think it's going to be enough.
Well, I think from what I'm hearing, they really like Roschon Johnson. Like when you look at the future as they see it, he's the guy they really, I think, would take reins on that job moving forward in the longer term. But again, I kind of said this before on a different episode. It's good to have the problem that you have too much talent at certain positions.
Yeah.
That's not something we're familiar with. But I'm hoping that's what we start to say about the receiver room, the running back room, the cornerback room. That's places where you just need talented players. So, there was a time when we were growing up where teams had their guy at running back, and you just knew who those guys were.
Yeah.
That's not how it is anymore. It's always more of a committee type of situation. So you probably just are honestly saying he's going to be the lesser of the 3-person committee.
Correct.
I could see that. I could certainly see that.
Do you remember when it was Run DMC? It was Mike Davis who ended up just kind of falling off there. He didn't, then he went on and did great things for Carolina.
Exactly. So. And that's why the running back position has kind of been devalued.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate for a guy like Herbert, but maybe he would catch on with another team if they decide eventually to move on from him. So, all right. I have a bold prediction that's honestly more of a bold hope, but I do have some things I'd like to say to defend it, and it goes back to what you said about the D-line. So my bold prediction is that somebody on the D-line, I don't know who, and maybe they're not even on the roster yet.
It's possible.
Will have double-digit sacks.
Whew.
Now, here's why this is a bold prediction and really more of a bold hope, is I still think they could make a move signing a free agent, the likes of Ngakwe, Clark.
Yeah.
We now hear a trade is a possible thing. So now you might get like a Carl Lawson, who I read your article. He's never had double-digit sacks, so that's not necessarily where I'm headed with this.
You might not have heard either, but he recently restructured his contract, so he's probably staying.
Okay. Well,
unless it was a restructure to be traded, because that's what happened with Zadarius Smith.
Interesting. Okay. Daniel Hunter. I'm saying, I'm still hoping they're bringing in a guy, whether it's through free agency, trade, or both.
Right.
So that's part one. But here's the thing. Last year, I believe they were the worst rush defense in the league. If
From
not, rush defense.
Oh, rush defense. Yes.
If not the second worst. Yeah. And they were probably historically bad.
Yeah.
I think they got better in that regard. And I think that does also lead to more situations where teams are going to be in passing situations.
Right.
If the offense is better and you're putting up points, you're also putting teams in situations where, hey, maybe they're behind by 10 and have to throw. Okay, so some of it's that. My other part here is the linebackers that they added in Edwards and Edmonds.
Yes.
Those names kind of tripped me for a second.
I get it.
Are both known for being good in coverage.
Yes.
Okay. Last year, the defense, which was not good, the strength was the secondary, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
The secondary also, we think, may have been upgraded. You spent second-round pick and a fifth on guys that could be coming in to be part of a rotation. So when I'm bringing that up, that could lead to more coverage sacks. So the combination of maybe you're putting teams in more of throwing scenarios, you have better coverage downfield, somebody's going to benefit from that. And then Eberflus's system being able to be more established. Granted, the guys I'm saying bringing in would be only in the first year of that.
Right.
But hopefully just better overall play from the defense is why I'm saying that this is a bold prediction and a bold hope that you'll have a guy, or at least let's have your D lineman lead the team.
Their sack leader.
Not a safety and a guy you traded in week 8.
Jaquan Brisker had 4 sacks last year.
Yeah, it's got to be a D lineman.
Travis Gibson had 3.
So my not as bold prediction is a D lineman will lead the team in sacks.
Okay.
But if it's 10 or more, whew.
So I'm going to play off of yours this time.
Okay.
So my bold prediction is that the Bears will finish with a total of 40 sacks. That's double what they finished with last year. They had 20 sacks last year. The Philadelphia Eagles led the league in sacks with 70. Okay? 70.
I'm doing my calculator real quick.
On top of those 40 sacks, the Chicago Bears are going to have 30 takeaways. Okay? Last year they came up with 23, but they gave away 25, so they had a -2 differential. Okay? That's going to be better too. The differential is going to be better. I think you're right. I don't know who the edge rusher is going to be. I think they're going to add somebody. But they're building the outside or inside out, right? Building from the inside out. Trevon Dexter, Zach Pickens, Andrew Billings, like you said, those guys being able to push up in the middle is going to help the run game. It's going to help the outside edge rushers have more one-on-one matchups. I have no other reason for it other than, like you said, football is weird. I think that they're going to find a way to make this look a lot better this year than they did last year.
So 40 sounded like so many when you said it. And coming off of 20, it is double, literally.
That's like,
but it's 2.35 per game.
Yeah, it's literally like middle of the league.
I was going to say, I mean, to get 1 a game should be... Yes. That's basically what they did last year, and that doesn't sound like
it sounds like a very bold prediction, but it really isn't.
It shouldn't be. I mean, you shouldn't really be shut out in sacks.
No,
hardly ever.
No,
and maybe it would happen here and there. You're going up with a great line, somebody that really gets rid of the ball, or a game where there's a lot of rushing, you get 0. But hopefully, they're getting games where you're getting 2 or 3 or 4. So. All right. I like how our predictions were kind of in line with one another, even though we didn't discuss it.
We did not discuss it at all. No notes.
No notes.
No notes. All right. Again, we appreciate you guys. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Leave comments. What are your bold predictions? We want to hear them. Where are we completely wrong? We want to hear it. What predictions do you think we're spot on with?
If you criticize a prediction of ours, you have to post one of yours. That should be the rule.
I want to hear it. Yeah, because then we can criticize you. Again, no, we appreciate all the support. Again, let's just keep building this up. We got a nice season 2 coming up, and 2023 is going to be a good year for the Chicago Bears.
All right. Bear down.